Namaskar. This is Akhilesh Bhargav. Welcome to Tidbits on Business and Finance with me. The CBDT chairman, in a recent video conversation with Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev, says that while a lot has been done by the government in order to ease the compliance burden under the Income Tax Act of the taxpayers, he says despite that, there is a huge trust deficit between the Income Tax Department and the taxpayers. And he asked Sadhguru what should be done in order to bridge this trust deficit so that there is a maximum collection from the taxpayers to contribute to the nation building. Sadhguru Vasudev, in an interesting reply, says that it is only 2% of India's population that pays income tax, and that is not enough in order to service the development needs of the balance 98% of the population. He further says that taxpayers need a sense of value for money that they pay by way of taxes, and perhaps he implies that sense of value is not coming. He says that tax alone cannot meet the development needs of the nation. Tax collection alone is not enough to better the lot of the current generation, and for that, what we need is big time investments. He says that the country needs at least $1.5 trillion in the next 1 to 2 years by way of big investments in order to meet the development needs, for the simple reason that 2% taxpayers cannot meet the development needs of the entire nation. He further says that the mindset of the government is one of tax collection, and because of that, a tax evader is a hero in Indian society, pointing to the fact that this kind of a criminal conduct is not good for the nation. He further says that only 16% of the government revenue is by way of income tax, and he suggests that it is better to replace it with some kind of a transaction tax like a GST or a banking transaction tax, because that would be easier, and perhaps he says the collection might be even more. He emphasizes that India needs to attract investment because only that will ensure our development, and for that he says that tax rates must come down and perhaps tax must be abolished. That's the implication if you go by ensuring that only a transaction tax is levied. He says people park money by way of investments where taxes are low and gives the example of Ireland. Thus, while he gives a huge answer, he still doesn't address the moot issue, the basic question of the CBDT chairman, which is how to bridge the trust deficit between the taxpayer and the tax collector, which is the Income Tax Department. This is a burning issue that the CBDT chairman has raised, trust deficit between the taxpayer and the tax department. And while Sadhguru Vasudev has not really given a direct answer, we at HW would prefer to address it as citizens of the nation. Let's first say and be clear that there will always be a trust deficit between tax evaders and the tax department. It's like a police and thief relationship. They cannot be friends. They are bound to distrust each other. So the income tax department, first of all, need not be bothered about trying to build any trust with tax evaders. The issue is to do with genuine taxpayers, and the reality is that there is a huge trust deficit between taxpayers who want to comply with the law and the income tax department, and the reasons are many. The first one is that there is a clear unwillingness on the part of the income tax department in order to follow the law, in order to uphold the law. Frivolous additions are made to total income. False demands are raised, which very often the income tax department loses in appeals. Their track record of victory in appellate courts is pathetic, and despite that, after raising these kind of bogus demands, the income tax department takes the taxpayer in appeal right up to the Supreme Court if it can, resulting in untold harassment. Nobody likes it when he realizes that his rights as per the law are being denied, and that too in a manner where demands are raised, demands are enforced, and appeals drag on for years together. So the first is there is a clear unwillingness on the part of the department to uphold the rule of the law, and that is reflected in the frivolous additions, the frivolous demands, and the fact that very often courts do not uphold these kind of orders passed by the department. The rights are blatantly denied, and there's bound to be a trust deficit. The second, of course, as we said, is appeals and disputes are very carelessly and recklessly created by the income tax department. Even on points where the taxpayer is clearly in the right, appeals are pursued by the department and the harassment is untold. Their businesses suffer, their income suffer, and they are bound to dislike it. After all, they work hard and they earn the income. Further, there is a very clear culture in the department of coercive recovery of taxes. When taxes are genuinely due and a taxpayer is not paying it, the department has every right to enforce a coercive recovery of taxes. But when it comes to debatable, disputed, controversial tax demands, the kind of coercive recovery that is insisted upon by the department is certainly not taken very well. As we said, the tax department loses most of its appeals in higher appellate forums, and it is certainly unfair to enforce recovery of those appeals of those demands while the appeals are going on. Thus, it is this coercive recovery which very often means closure of businesses, demises of taxpayers, and that is where again there is bound to be breeding of a distrust. Further, the income tax department is known to withhold legitimate refunds of taxpayers, and they are withheld in a lot of ways. If there is a refund due, very often a false demand is raised in order to block the refund. The income tax database that processes refunds is very often erroneous and wrong processing takes place, and that delays the refunds. And very often the fact is refunds are very blatantly held. The taxpayer may be in a financial crisis, it is his money, but yet the department holds on to it. Thus, the holding back of income tax refunds, which taxpayers know are being falsely held back, certainly is not going to breed any kind of a cordiality between the taxpayer and the tax department. What we are also witnessing of late is there are a lot of errors in the database of the income tax department, and those errors very often result in wrong demands. Wrong demands which the department tries to enforce and collect, and in the process not only are very intimidating worded notices sent to the taxpayer, but even coercive recovery is done, notwithstanding the fact that the demand is clearly arising out of a false database. They may get corrected later on, but the harassment is immense. Further, the income tax law has now been administered, corrected in such a manner that for the smallest of unintentional violations that a taxpayer may do, he is dragged to courts by way of criminal prosecution. This criminal prosecution is to the complete detriment and harassment of a taxpayer, but more and more criminal prosecution cases are being filed such that even the performance parameters of tax officials have been amended to see how many criminal prosecutions were filed during the year. The purpose of this kind of a filing of criminal prosecutions is, of course, to ensure that tax gets recovered in various other modes. Thus, criminal prosecutions are filed, and in case you want the income tax department to withdraw it, then you are welcome to pay hefty compounding fees in order to collect more taxes from the taxpayer. Nobody is going to like being dragged to criminal courts. Very often, the spouses of taxpayers also are dragged to criminal courts, and that is not going to build any goodwill for the department. This needs to be stopped. While all this is going on, we all know that the income tax law, the income tax code is extremely complicated. It's extremely complex, and so are all the income tax forms. The income tax department may call a tax return form as saral, but there is nothing saral about it. You cannot fill them without the help of an expert, and that costs money, that results in delays, that results in higher compliances, and of course cost at the end of the taxpayer. And this complex income tax code has become because of mindless amendments to the law from time to time. Hundreds and thousands of income tax amendments have taken place. They keep taking place all the time. And the worst of them are what are called retrospective amendments. You may win your tax appeal in the Supreme Court, and the income tax department, which is a very unsporting loser, will go back to the parliament and get the act amended such that your victory in the Supreme Court is a worthless victory. It is these retrospective tax amendments which have got the nickname of retro tax, and that is not going to result in any kind of a goodwill for the department for the simple reason. If you have lost a case in the Supreme Court, then honor the law, uphold the law, and do not take advantage of your being the tax department and go and amend the law, that too with a retrospective effect. That has been to the detriment of the income tax image. However much the income tax department may want to say that it wants to bridge the trust deficit. And further, except for officers who want to be extremely fair and straightforward, at times at the cost of their careers, what we see is most officers want to be pro-revenue. They are forced to be pro-revenue because their entire performance and posting is determined by Delhi on that basis. And in that process, a lot of all that we discuss gets done. If this is the way income tax law is administered in India, if this is the way income tax department has been functioning, why do you even expect that there should be no trust deficit between the taxpayer and the income tax department? It is bound to be there. And this phenomena is not just with the income tax department in India, it is a worldwide phenomena. Income tax law is complex all over the world, and the department everywhere works with this attitude. Let me give you a survey that was done in the UK. A few years ago, taxpayers in UK were asked that if the income tax department was a service provider, would you go back to it? And hardly 15% of the respondents said they would. In other words, they don't trust the income tax department. And that is what we see in India also. In case the department really wants to bridge the deficit, go and hound the tax evaders. But as far as genuine taxpayers are concerned, give them what the law provides for them in a fair and just manner. And that is what is missing. This is Akhilesh Bhargav signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.
हमारे घरों में भी बच्चे होते हैं जो हमसे प्यार दुलार की आस करते हैं।
हमारा भी जीवन साथी है जिसको हमारे ड्यूटी से घर आने का इंतजार होता है।
हमारे घर में भी एक बूढ़ी माँ है जिनके लिए आज भी हम ही आंखों के तारे हैं।
लेकिन हम हमारे घरों में नहीं हैं। आपकी सुरक्षा में कोई कसर न रहे, इसलिए हम अपने प्रियजनों से दूर हैं।
हम में से ही कुछ तो अब इतने दूर जा चुके हैं कि वो वापस अपने घरों को लौट भी नहीं पाएंगे।
हमें गर्व है कि हमारे कंधों पे मुंबई शहर के नागरिकों की सुरक्षा की जिम्मेदारी है। हमारे जज्बे और बलिदान को व्यर्थ न जाने दे। इस संकट के समय में आप घर पे रहे, सुरक्षित रहे।
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.
If you like this video, please share it, and we would love to hear your comments in the comments section down here. Also, please do like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter to get minute-to-minute news updates. For more such shows and videos, well, subscribe to our YouTube channel.